With 3 days after the head of state speech to Cameroonians, outlining several achievements made, areas of challenges that the nation will look into, areas where investment need to be done, Cameroonians across the aisle are still asking some questions: how realistic and how objective the situation on the ground is. Looking at the beautiful, well-crafted, presented speech of the president of our beloved nation, Cameroonians from the 10 regions of the nation who are living the daily reality are asking the question that what is not what is supposed to be, or what is supposed to be, is that not what should be? The situation is different. If we look across the 10 regions, the issue about mountains of debt piles across the cities, towns, and villages. Roads are being blocked by this garbage which are disposed indiscriminately across major towns in Douala. To be more precise, some roads have been blocked partially by the mountains of debris across the street, and this happens to affect almost all major neighborhoods. Bonamusadi, Bonaberi, you move to Daido, go to Angel Raphael, just to name these. The same situation which affect others across the different regions of our nation. When you get to Limbe, Limbe used to be the cleanest town in Cameroon. Several times they have won an award about the best city in terms of cleanliness, which they say is next to godliness. But in recent times, Limbe has become like any other city, even worse than any other city in terms of the garbage dropped everywhere. In all this, one would have thought that the coming of Hizakam, the hygiene and sanitation company charged with the removal and actually the deposition of debt across a nation, one would have thought that with the coming of this hygiene and sanitation company, the issue about debt management will be an issue of the past, will be history, and will be well coordinated. But when you look at the reality, you are tempted to ask if Hizakam itself, or if the company do the job that they are supposed to do, or is it that the common man has failed this company in well managing their garbage before they are disposed of? Another reality that Cameroonians across the aisle are asking, looking at the just ended speech presented by the head of state, commander-in-chief of our armed forces, is the issue of electricity. The issue of electricity is a major challenge across the 10 regions. Even in the capital city, Yaoundé, some neighborhood go for 2 weeks, 3 weeks without electricity. Douala itself is not left out. Some will go for 2 months without electricity. Major neighborhoods will go for 2 months without electricity. Not to talk about some areas or some regions which are not actively involved in industrialization. Southwest region have witnessed series of protests from Mutengene, where people had to block the roads, the main roads, demanding that officials look into the unavailability of electricity. Munya, Mai 16, Mai 18 took the queue and demanded the same thing. Moliko, Great Support, Sampit took the queue and demanded for the same thing. In fact, if we keep naming, the list is long for those who are demanding for electricity. It has now become a new normal where people have to block the road before they have electricity, which is not normal, because blocking the road, you are depriving other people from using the road. And in all the times that the roads were blocked, the question is, what if there was an emergency of someone being rushed to the hospital with a heart attack, or somebody that needs to be saved within the blink of an eye? What would have happened to that person if, because the roads were blocked? That person's own right. He has a right to use the road, the same way you two have the right to electricity. Water supply. The issue about water supply within our country, many Cameroonians are asking, how portable are the water that they drink across the major cities? Are our taps flowing? If they are flowing, what is the quality of the water that flow through our taps? The truth here is the taps are dry. Dry, not just dry. To those that are not even dry, they manage to ooze out with water which are not effectively good for consumption. However, some are privileged to have potable drinking water in their houses. The privileged few, as many would describe. With all of this plethora of issues, the dams were told will be built and they were to be commissioned in 2024. 2024 came and passed. The dams were not fully commissioned and electricity is limping. Water is inadequate. Unemployment rate is high. Inflation rate is off the roof. The truth there is, those who make beautiful speeches have not been to the market. If you go to our markets in the 10 regions, you ask a kilogram of meat, then you will understand how realistic the situation is. But should we say that many things have not happened which are also good? There have been a lot of good things achieved so far, but many is still wanting. This is House of Commons with me, Tah Mai Javis. I want to seize this opportunity to wish somebody very dear to me, whom I hold in high esteem, somebody very special, somebody who gladdens my heart, a happy birthday. Didi in Switzerland. I want to wish you a very happy, fantastic birthday. As you celebrate your birthday this year, God should give you more wisdom, more grace, and also a very big thanks to your mother who brought you to the world, who gave you the opportunity to be born in this beautiful world. That may your days be as long as those of Methuselah. May all those who plant evil against you should not see you. May you continue to flourish with a heart pure and full of hope, faith and love, patience and respect. I want to tell you a happy, happy birthday and many more years. As love from my heart flows, so should you also understand that God loves you much and much better. Again, happy birthday and happy new year to your entire family, your mother, your siblings, and those whom you share or you hold in high esteem. Happy birthday to you. Love you. Take care. And in the studio, we are joined by our cream of panelists who are here with us to discuss the issue. Happy New Year to begin with, Asia Betan, who is a civil society and those who have been forming the minds and hearts of many Cameroonians across the aisle in the domain of education. Mr. Asia, a happy New Year and thanks for joining us.
Happy New Year, my brother, and happy New Year in Arias. It's a pleasure that I'm part and parcel of this wonderful program. I want to salute all the favorite viewers of my media prime. We are here to give our own contribution, like I always say, to nation building. And so we are here to construct and not to destroy. We are here to give our own opinion on certain things, especially with regards to the theme of the day. So I want to use this opportunity to salute all those fervent viewers of this program, House of Commons, especially those of my town, Munya. I greet you all, and I want to also use this opportunity to tell my panelists on the other side, Happy New Year, and thank you very much for giving me this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you very much. In the studio, we are joined by Emmanuel. This is our first edition for 2026. We were here last year, and we are now this new year. January, a lot. Municipal and legislative elections as one of the major activities for this year. Still, it will be animated. Happy New Year, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, dear listeners. Happy New Year to everybody. Please let me arrange my tie. It's another year for us to deliberate, talk, and continue from where we ended in 2025. I want to take this special opportunity to thank and wish the Director General of my Media Prime a wonderful New Year 2026, the Mayor of Noni, a wonderful New Year, the fans of Noni, and not forgetting my mother, my grandmother, who is down there in Compania watching me live. This year has begun on a very flat note with the aspiring speech of the head of state. The head of state, the #1 citizen, the first citizen of Cameroon, actually said everything. And I want to quote from what he said. We should not be deceived by those who promise us what they do not have. We should be steadfast, consolidate our unity, and we should keep on working hard and having hopes for a better future. It goes to say that if a man at that age is promising us hope, it's not only promising us hope, it's telling us about a beautiful future, a better future, then what about we the youth who are there, who shall live after him? It's a very clear sign that we hope. If he's hoping for a better something, then we the youth should hope for something best. And that's why we are going to do everything like you earlier mentioned in your introduction. The new year 2026 is going to be another decisive year for us Cameroonians, and especially the youth. The head of state said he has kept 50 billions for the youth, for the youth-led project, the youth emergency project, and it is in this 2026 that is going to be realized. So, and he also made mention that the year his mandate, this newly acquired mandate, is for the youth and women. I must tell you, Mr. Javis, that this year is going to be a year of prospect. We keep moving despite the challenges we have, and the head of state actually acknowledges it. We keep moving. The challenges are there. There is no free path. There is no smooth path. The road is narrow, but we keep on moving and moving gradually and progressing. I think that the new year, as Riley said, has begun on a flat mode where everything has been set in prospect. Happy New Year to dear listeners of my Media Prime. We are there, and we are going to continue giving all of us, you Cameroonians, the best we can offer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Also, we are with the arrival of Engineer Dixon, who will be here in a couple of minutes or so. I'll begin with you, Mr. Ezia Bertrand. Let me begin with you. The issue about the end of year speech for President Paul Biya. You listened to it. First, what were your expectations before moving to your impression about the speech?
Thank you, Mr. Javis. I actually listened to it so seriously, and my impressions are not very different from majority of Cameroonians that are outside there, because I think the president has been in power for more than 40-something years, and we have gotten about 40-something speeches. And my problem with with speeches in Cameroon is the fact that we don't match our words with actions. Because I feel that at this point that the president is giving us a lot of hopes. I was thinking that the speech could have been more of giving presidential decrees, and that as from this time to this time, this is the project that I'm supposed to realize, because we see Cameroon is in a situation that we need not to procrastinate again. We need to match our words with action and say that this is what we need. For example, you made mention, or he made mention of the problem of electricity. Do we feel that we should be promising Cameroonians about electricity again? No, I don't think so. I feel that the people concerned, if to me, with the speech, everything was okay. It was a fantastic speech. But I'm saying, Mr. Javis, I'm saying that to me, I was thinking of, now, this is the aspect of unity and peace. I'm giving us the commission that is in charge of maintaining peace in the country. I'm giving you a period of 2 months that we see that peace and stability reigns in Cameroon. those that are involved with the aspect of youth employment, I'm saying that this is the opportunities that I've given to youth. I've given maybe 2,000 jobs, and by the end of 2-3 months, the youths in Cameroon should benefit from that. Because when I'm looking at the speech, I say what I've said here, we have gotten about 40-something speeches since he came to power. So my problem is not a speech, because if they ask you to give a speech, more than 40, yes,
all the 10th February
and all the like, we have always got.
So you add two.
You add them, you join them together. They have always been speeches, because there is nobody that you are here, my brother, they say you are the president of an association, you come and give a speech that would not be will disgrace you. You always give a speech that people will need to clap, but Cameroon has reached a point, to my own point of view, that the speeches should be matched with actions. We should not say the youths who are going to be employed, there will be the building of dams, there will be construction of roads and all the like. Now we are saying that between January to March, the road project, the ring road of Bamenda, will be completed. Okay. It will be completed.
Now let me ask you a follow-up. You have articulated the reality. Now what ought to be? Now, in all fairness, will you say that the head of state speech is a reality that you are living?
That is why I have said that.
Talked about electricity, talked about water.
That is why I have said that. The speech is it was a normal thing that every normal Cameroonian will hear. But the reality in the field, to be sincere, is not what we are living. Now let us take the problem of water that we are just talking about. I live in the neighborhood of Bonambome. I think for the past more than 1 year, we have not gotten pipe of water there. And it becomes a nightmare. And we are in the capital city of Cameroon. So when we are talking about water, and the problem should be the people of Bonaberi, next month you are going to have your pipe of water. What stops us from doing that? Because I feel we are tired of promises in this country. Even there was a day, the other day, Mr. Javis, I was watching TV with the recent past election. One, I think it's regional something in Bamenda, was accused that
the regional
somebody who was accused that the first mandate he did absolutely nothing, and he came up in the national media, I think it was national media, and said no, what the people are saying is a fatal lie. But what was my concern was, it was not for him to say that it's a big lie.
Say I've done this.
It was for him to say that during this first mandate I was able to realize this. This water project, I realize it. This school project, we realize it. I'm not saying that it's a fatal. No, tell the people that this is what I have done. Instead of saying that no, the people are lying. So when we come to speech making, I know even us here in the studio, if they ask you to give a speech, you will give a very wonderful speech. Okay. But we have reached a situation, let me land there, that we have hopes, because there was a promise that by 2035, Cameroon should be an emerging country. And at this time, if we are still having hopes, because the reality
we are 9 years,
9 years to 2035 is not far. The realities in the field show us that, except otherwise, or with miracle, by 2035 we will be an emerging country. Because, for example, let us look at the state of road in Cameroon, please. It is a call for concern. Thank you.
When you say we need a miracle, that explains why maybe we see a lot of these officials in churches praying front seat.
Thank you, Mr. Javis. Before I land, it's just like when yesterday when you called me, I was seated somewhere and an elderly person said that when the president announced in his speech that he is going to do a ministerial appointment, the whole of Yaoundé now, if you go, it is perfumed by traditional perfume. You understand what I mean? It means that the people are doing all they want to, so that their ministry should not be shaken. So you see, there is a problem. The problem is not appointing. But me, I don't have a problem even with the government. I don't have a problem with the president. I don't have a problem. My problem is matching vote with actions, and that is what Cameroonians need today. Cameroonians.
The issue is not about the individual.
They know I don't have a
problem. The office.
The office should
the rule of the office.
Rule the role of the office.
Yes.
If the office says that
this is what I want. The project, look at what you just mentioned in your speech there with regards to the state of sanitation in Cameroon. It is a call for concern. But what happened? Let us match our words with action and say that Bonaberi should be clean, and the next minute we are not only calling the company concerned, we are also looking at those who are the administrators in Bonaberi to say that things are in order. Okay. This is the country that we need.
Okay. Yeah, Emmanuel, when you look at the head of state speech, what were your expectation of the speech and your impression after the speech?
Yeah, the head of state actually came out. He surprised many of us, because that's somebody we already know that you cannot determine what he's going to say. But one thing for sure is that we are surprised positively, because he actually set the space rolling. Everything, all the complaints. There's something in speech making, please. There's something we should understand. I will not. Speech making is not about repeating what people know, but it's about trying to call attention of particular things that people are missing and giving redirection. And that is how you don't expect the head of state to come and start from a whole speech from the end of the year to say that this is all I've realized, this is all I've realized. No. We are far beyond that. The head of state came in. It's like redesigning a formula. His speech is like a formula, redesigning a formula. That this is what, and that's why the speech of 2024 is not the same speech of 2025. So he came in and redefined the policies, reassured people, and acknowledged the fact that here are some weaknesses. Here is what has been done. He talks about the economy. He talks about digitalization. He talks about every other aspect in brief, telling people that okay, this is what was happening, but along the line these particular things did not go, and we are going to readjust it. We are going to do it to meet the needs and demands of Cameroonian. We should not expect the head of state to come and say the Bonaberi bridge was started, this one, the road was this one. No. What if we expect the head of state to do that? What are you going to ask the minister? What are you going to ask municipal mayors? What are you going to ask all the other stakeholders? Power has been decentralized. Power has been even deconcentrated.
Now, when you talk about the fact that we should not expect the head of state to come and enumerate projects, okay, I don't want to do a follow-up.
Yes.
It's a follow-up. It's your time.
Yes.
When the head of state came out in 2023,
yes,
December, talked about the fact that by December 2024, the dams will be commissioned.
Yes.
Was he a minister?
He wasn't a minister, and that's what I'm saying, that we should not expect the head of state to come and enumerate everything. He picks a particular thing in question, a particular project that is demanding, and talks about it in summary, and that's why he does. You understand? When he said so, and that's why he came back when he said it in 2023, the project about the Nashiga Dam, and he came back this time around. He still mentioned the issue about the Nashiga Dam. Now, where is the problem? And in that very speech, that's why we saw the speech as resetting the formula, because he assured Cameroonians that we are going to be held responsible. Those who have not been doing their work are going to be held responsible. We talked about, for example, the issue about the light people march along the street in Biya and transformer were produced immediately. They should not be people. Those who did that, they should not sit and say they have provided a solution to something. They will ask them. There is time for reckoning. They are going to answer for why the street did not have light for almost 9 months, and you were sitting with transformers in your houses, in your offices. So that's why this head of state, the speech. Let's let Cameroonian get it clear. The speech of the head of state for 2025 December. That speech is let me say, a formula of the next mandate, because he actually enlightened, gave out in brief. He gave out every possible thing we are supposed to know. When you go to discourse analysis, the discourse analysis, they will tell you there's a way to communicate a message and there's a way to make noise. The head of state is communicating a message, and the message is not all about voluminous writing, reading, and so on and so forth. He picks a particular point and keeps it directly. That okay, this is. And one thing that amazes me, that struck my attention with the speech, was when he announced cabinet reshuffle, that he's going to change the cabinet in the days ahead. The days ahead can be months. Something going around town. I saw even our elected officials, they are busy mobilizing and doing the work, the project they were supposed to carry on. They were supposed to carry on within the year 2024. And then I asked myself, meaning that the particular speech, we were discussing with somebody, he said the cabinet reshufflement they have announced does not only concern ministers, it is going to shake everybody. So it is good for us. We have to better be late than never. You understand that the head of state, when he talks to the minds of people, he talks to the conscience of Cameroonians, and especially to his collaborators. And who are the collaborators? And those are the collaborators who have failed Cameroon in such a way that we keep complaining about no road, garbage everywhere. The streets of the street of our town are littered with dirt everywhere. And who should we blame? The head of state? And that's why when he made mention, even when he made mention of cabinet reshufflement, you saw there are state parastatals who have not been doing their work. Many of them, I bet you, there are things that when you go to the ministry, you will see the rate at which people are working. The sluggishness has suddenly left. People are absent in office. I'm talking about what so it's very, very, that's why we should.
So will that change the appointment?
It is going to change, to tell you that I'm still
change.
It is going to change because he has already signaled those people. He has already signaled into their mind that it is auto. Is first of all, it starts from auto evaluation.
Now I have some follow up.
Yes.
I want us to be methodological.
Yes.
In terms of our mode of discussion today.
Yes.
My question to you was and is,
Yeah.
what was your expectation? You have explained your expectation.
Yes.
Now, are you satisfied with the head of state speech?
I am not satisfied with the head of state speech completely, because
On a scale of
I think I have on a scale of 5.
where one
No,
let me just cue you on
Yes.
a scale of 5, where one not satisfied, not very satisfied, 2 not satisfied, 3 somehow satisfied, 4 satisfied, 5 very satisfied.
I am somehow at a level of 3.
3
Yes.
Somehow
Satisfied.
you're
There are 2
satisfied.
things I am saying.
Yes.
There are 2 things. There are many things within the scale of 5, and the things can sum up to the 2 over, which means I have 3 over 5. I was expecting the head of state to come out clearly and tell Cameroonians this issue concern. We have already spoken about it severally. Though he spoke about it, but my own expectation was that he should have labeled it to Cameroonians, the issue about electricity and road maintenance in Cameroon.
But you just said the head of state is not a minister.
Excuse me, let me come. I know where I'm getting to. I said he's not a minister, but he is the head of state, and just coming from a mandate newly acquired, he has the full responsibility to render accountability.
Then you talked about electricity.
I'm coming.
Yeah,
I'm coming.
It was okay that major strife were recorded.
I am coming.
Yes,
he said it. Yes. So I expected him to actually put a strike about this issue. Electricity in Cameroon has newly been acquired, which means that it's no more privatized again. Eneo has been taken back by the government, but we do not have a clear map on how it's going to be managed for us to improve from what we are witnessing. Again, about road and employment, we expected the youth, expected the head of state to actually talked about youth unemployment in detail. We coming from a period some time ago where 25,000 jobs were launched some time ago. When was it? 2011 or 2012?
It was
2010. 25,000 jobs. There are people still in those who are employed in 2010 who have been complaining about the non-functionality of the jobs given to them, and that is why we are expecting that. We are expecting that the head of state, and I think he is going to address that with already a solution on the 10th of February.
As we speak right now, do you have electricity in your village?
We do not have electricity in Noni.
How long?
Noni has never gotten 24 hours electricity since creation.
Do you have electricity pole with cables?
It is along the installation line.
Still at the level of installation, which means since independent, Noni has never got.
That's why I said from creation. I did not talk about independent.
No, but you talk about
independent
24 hours.
Existed.
Talk about 24 hours.
Yeah.
That means that like it's on and off, on and off.
It is still under construction.
And you are asked to summary.
Yes.
If you are asked to give a report card
Yes.
of the head of state activity between 2025 from January 2025 to December 2025 on 10, how would you?
No, he has performed almost 8%, 8 over 10.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Engineer Dixon, we are impression about the head of state speech. What was your expectation, and was your expectation actually met?
Happy Sunday to my fellow co-panelists, and happy Sunday to our televiewers. Happy Sunday to you, Javis. I think if it's in terms of appraisal, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Yeah. I think if it's in terms of general appraisal of facts and presented by the head of state on the 31st of December 2025, I think he demonstrated mastery on what is actually going on in the economy of our nation. He touched all the aspects which I really expected him to touch. He talked about his concerns for the youth and women, something which he reiterated as well in his inaugural speech. He talked on the marvelous job being carried out, the professionalism displayed so far by the defense forces, which I think is something which is visible and evident. He also made mention on his will and determination to improve on standard of living in the domain of education and health. I think these are all good pointers, and he also made mention of the fact that he recognizes the energy challenges of the nation and is working to see it being improved, something which we discussed last Sunday. And he went further to assure Cameroonians that we are going to witness series of road construction and maintenance. I think my general appraisal, the speech was a good speech. He also made mention of supply chain disruptions, which is making our lives difficult. Certain goods being not arriving on time, and this and that. But Mr. Javis, here is a thing. The head of state is the head of state. Like I said, he's a vision bearer of the nation. He's running on a mandate. He has collaborators. These collaborators have their own collaborators. The mechanism is there. The head of state is not a magician. I will say this, I will have been saying it. It's not somebody who would raise one finger and things just start moving. There is procedure, there is protocol in every administrative action and decision. If the head of state says he is concerned with the youth and women, this is mandate, he is dedicating it to improve the lives of youth and women. In that phrase has a lot of implications. And he has just stated what he wants to see. I think there are ministries that are involved. We have the Ministry of Youth, am I right? Youth Affairs, Civic Education. We have the Minister of Women Empowerment. I am not saying as well also that this responsibility to come up with a program that will integrate the youth and women lies just in their hands, because Cameroon also is sectorized. We have the agricultural sector, we have the educational sector, we have the health sector, we have, you know, it's sectorized, we have different sectors. So, and these sectors are governed by different ministries. So, if the head of state come out and say, I am concerned with the youths and the women, all the ministers, all the minister delegates, all personnel in these ministries should not be sleeping now. They should be having cabinet meetings in their various ministries. This is what our president wants to see. What proposals are we going to give concerning our sector? That's what I've been talking about, that the head of state is just a policy bearer. The people who are to bring the work and come up proposals with their various sectors are the ministers. They should go to work now, bring in technocrats that will come up with proposals and solutions that will be sent to the prime ministry, to the head of state. The Ministry of Agriculture should come up with theirs. The Ministry of Health should come up with theirs. The Ministry of Education should come up with theirs. The Ministry of Communications and Post and Telecommunications should come up with theirs. The Ministry of Employment and Vocation should come up with theirs. And they should work in collaboration with the key pointer ministries, which is the Ministry of Youth and the Ministry of Women Empowerment. And they come out with a whole workable document that head of state, we heard what you said, you are concerned, these are the proposals we have. He's not a magician. He cannot think it out all by himself. But what will happen? He has spoken. He has even made mention of the fact that there's a budget. Yes. I think how many billion? 50 billion. 50 billion. People will be sleeping in their offices, be waiting that the presidency again will say, okay, you have 10 billion. 10 billion to do what? 10 billion to do what? They have to go to work, Mr. Javis. All these ministries come up with proposals and channel it to the right channel. The head of state and his technical team at the presidency with the head of government, the prime minister, they will study these proposals, and they now, in their infinite wisdom, they will look at what can really work best and what will not work best, and they assign roles and responsibility, who will do what money is going to what, and what. That is what has to happen. Inclusive solution that cuts across all ministries. But nobody will be saying anything. They will sit and then expect the head of state again to become a magician overnight and say, okay, this is what you should do. No. Now, we need a country that works.
Let me ask you a question. Let me do some follow-up. From the way you say, it means that from the speech of the head of state, it means Cameroonians are living the reality of the speech.
When you say reality of the speech, what can you break it down? Because
from what you said, it means that the Cameroon, you and me, all of us seated here, including our studio technicians, are living the reality of the speech like all is well.
No, the head of state didn't say all is well, please. If your president come and say, I am, because I'm coming, he is saying, I am taking keen interest in this. What does that tell you?
Because the issue
there's a problem.
He
should not come and be telling explaining all the problem.
The issue is,
but he's not ignorant of the fact that there's a problem.
In 2023,
yes,
the head of state talked about energy.
Yes,
you and I were waiting in 2024, the commissioning.
Yes,
it came and passed. 2025 came and passed. And should we still be talking about electricity in this new time?
Maybe I have been explaining an issue here, and please follow the pointers I'm giving.
I'm following the pointers.
This is the problem of governance. This is the problem of governance. Listen, the reflection of governance of a nation, the governance of a nation is a reflection of the people. The head of state cannot go and get experts from America to come and run Cameroon. Get that clear. The head of state will not go and get experts from France, Britain to come and run Cameroon. You get Cameroonians. So this is where the problem is. Who are these Cameroonians? What is their state of mind? I've said many times here, we have a set of poor people. Poor people are not people without money here. Be careful. It's people with poor mindsets. Without knowledge. People with poor mindsets are very poor. You may have billions. You know, I always have this joke that I say, a wise man, if you tell a wise man, take 100 million, right? Or choose between 100 million and 20 loyal people. That wise man will choose 20 loyal people, but a man with a poor mindset will choose 100 million. Not knowing that 100 million without loyal people around you, you will get broke in the next 3-4 days. This is what I'm saying. No matter how intentional the head of state is in any country, if the team has poor mindset, but you can't do anything. Especially if you see that, even if you do, maybe the ones he has now are his best, and the best are not best. when
No,
he
my-
went in comparative.
My second question.
So if, coming back to the dam, if he said in 2023 that by 2024 we'll commission this dam, they are experts. They are experts who will tell him, Mr. President, we can't achieve this. These are the limitations, or this is what has happened. There should be clear report on that, and he has now the prerogative to say is what you are telling me is convincing, or I'm not convinced. And if he is not convinced, then heads will roll.
No, my next question is, if you look at the reality in terms of the youth issue and the 50 billion, should we arrive at this level where 50 billion is placed at the level of the youth? What had happened with the previous youth projects that have been funded in years and years and years? Shouldn't we instead invest in institutions and infrastructures that will instead create more opportunities to this youth?
I agree. It boils down to what I am saying. If the head of state has said I'm concerned with youth and I'm making available 50 million, this 50 billion is not to be given, is not to give money to youth. This 50 billion, that's why I say ministry should get to work and propose programs that will either empower youth or establish them. It will begin a training and establishment program for youth to cut down unemployment. But not that you meet youth in the street and be giving them money. No, pouring too much money in the economy has never solved any problem. What program, that 52 billion, is going to sponsor what program? That's why I am saying, I'm using this medium to call on the administrators, the ministries. They should get to work. The head of state spoke on the 31st of December. This week, ministry should be busy. They should call all their experts. You want proposal. They should be having meetings in their various mini cabinets. What can we propose to the prime ministry for it to move to the head of state? And all of these documents should move to the prime ministry. The prime ministry and his expert, they will come up and, it will be well coordinated. And at the end of the day, they have a well structured program. Maybe by February, that the head of state now come and announce by February now that, okay, after a series of consultation and work put in by the various ministry, this is the program we have all unanimously adopted. We are going to implement by so and so time to see into it that, and everything is in motion. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Before I take on these messages and move back to Mr. Ezia, if you are asked to rate the head of state performance, I'm asking everybody this question because we're in a new year. On 10, what is your as a citizen?
Before giving the rating, okay, here's the one.
They rate the speech or the performance.
Okay.
On 10.
Yeah, free with me.
The general performance
Of the head of
from
state.
when he took power till now.
20 January 2025 to December 2025.
I think on 10, I will give the head of state 8.5.
Which means that Cameroonians have electricity, Cameroonians have good roads, Cameroonians have clean cities, Cameroonians have because he's the pilot. If anything, you are head of a family.
All right, now
if anything
you
goes
have
wrong,
asked me a pertinent question.
yes.
You didn't ask me that I should rate
No,
the
I asked,
government.
no, the head of
You said the head of state.
Yeah, because he's what is his function?
The head of state is not head of government.
He appoints member. He appoints who appoints the ministers,
The head of state appoint ministers.
who formulate policies,
The head of state is
who fires ministers.
the head of state fire ministers.
So if anything goes wrong in your house, who should we hold responsible?
Who hold the ministers who are not functioning well
No,
responsible.
the head of the family.
Why are you having a problem with somebody's rating?
No, I'm asking. I'm not having a problem. I'm just saying that, which
See,
means based on this rating,
You have
it means that
asked me,
Cameroonians have electricity.
to rate
Yes,
the head of state
performance.
as an individual, his performance.
Not Biya, the office of the head of state, which is responsible with project and formulating policies that affect the day-to-day life of Cameroonians.
Okay, the presidency is not responsible for projects. We have ministry
That's
of public
yes,
works.
they're not responsible for projects, but most of these projects, like we hear the head of state announce projects, which means that he should not be announcing those projects because those of ministries are responsible.
No, you receive reports.
Yeah, but he should not be announcing.
received
projects.
report
He
that-
announced the construction of autoroute. He announced the construction of
No,
Go
we
Panga.
have
He
projects
announced
of classes, Mr. Javis. In engineering, every project is classified. We have category A project, category B project,
I affirm with whatever you
category
are
C
saying.
projects. So category A projects are these big projects which the head of state is directly
I affirm to that.
Interested to see the realization.
The issue here is which you have said you give 8.3.5 and you try to evade from the
I didn't say 3.5.
I say 8.3. 8.3.
8.5.
8.5.
Yes.
Good. 8.5, which means that you are evading from the follow-up which I gave, which means you said it is the ministers. But if anything goes wrong in a country, we hold the head of state responsible.
David, that is. Can I talk?
I was about to come in before. Before the other person takes the microphone.
Because Engineer Dixon, before when we hear a minister come and talk, a minister say, I'm talking on firm instruction from the head of state. All ministers have firm instruction from the head of state, which means that the head of state runs project.
Yes.
The head of state runs project.
That's the government.
Because if all the ministers, a minister wants to go and construct a road or give didactic material under their ministry, it is from firm instructions from the head of state. There are another minister, a minister, the head of state talk to these people on a regular basis, because on a single day, all of them are carrying activities, firm instruction, which means they don't have the autonomy. So therefore, if anything goes wrong, don't hold the minister responsible.
Okay, yes, Mr. Javis, before I come there, when I listen to us talk here, I feel as if we are talking about a country that is not known by the person that is in power. It's like we are saying that this is somebody that was just elected for the first time in office. From the impression that I have, because you say that the people need to go to work now. They are the people that have been there for many years.
Some have been there for 21 years.
So I don't understand why we should start telling ourselves that they need to go to work. Or somebody was saying,
the minister of higher education, who was taking note when the president was talking. Professor Jacques was taking note.
It is funny in a country. So it's funny. And I hear somebody tell us that just after the speech that was made on the 31st, today we are on the 4th. There are reactions that are positive in the field. I said, no. What reactions? That people have started, the head of state have told people that when it comes to governance of a country, I used to say this, after God in heaven, it is the head of state of any country. And to govern a nation is not saying we look at the future before we bring our statement. For example, look at the aspect of cabinet and ministry reshufflement, things like that, to me, needed not to be announced. Because if a ministry is not working, I need to fire. Because I am the head of state. And when I design a policy, you are there to implement what I have said. If you saying that I have 50 billion for the youth, therefore it becomes the Ministry of Youth Affairs to see that his project, because the president is not just talking that I have 50 billion, it must be in accordance with what he and his minister have sat and said that this is how we can solve this situation. Because these are problems. Excuse me, I'm the one talking now. These are problems that he has seen it. That's why when you talk about rating 8, if he had asked me the question, I would have said that.
I'll ask you.
Yes, if you ask me again,
I'll ask you.
I am learning that we should not talk as if we are not living the reality. Because we are living the reality. It's not like I said in the opening that I don't have a problem with the speech. The speech was very beautiful. But what I am saying is matching word with action. That is what Cameroonians need. Cameroonians don't need to start telling us here that a ministry should come now and sit and be drawing a project that they should not sit down. They have been in these offices for more than 30 years. There are some ministers that have never changed in this country. Either they move them from this ministry and they balance to another one. So Cameroon is not new to them. It's not a government that has been taken over by a new government just yesterday. So there are certain things that we are saying, we as Cameroonians, he is asking a very good question. We are living a reality. The reality in the field, you said here that it seems the money of his existence has never gotten electricity.
Likewise, my own village, I was from just 2 weeks ago. That is Libya. Then we don't have electricity there.
Mention is for 9 years now.
We have existed for how many years in Libya without electricity? Is that not a reality? But the promise of the speech has been that there will be advancement in electricity in Cameroon, which is very okay, because before you pronounce that, there will be something that will be done on the aspect of youth, or something will be done on the aspect of women. Therefore, it means that you have sat and seen into it that no, the women issue in the country has a big problem. It means you have sat and seen that the youth issue in Cameroon has a big problem. And for me, the speech, that's why I said, for me, the speech could have been in such a way that it gives the presidential decree to what is going to take place. That's why I said in the first place, for more than 40-something years, we have gotten 40-something speeches. Not so, you added by saying that there are speeches during 20th May, there are speeches during
let's just say 40 years. Let's just take 40 years, for example. 40 years, 30, we have had 40 31st December speeches. 40 years, we have had 10th of February speeches. So you have put that's 80 plus the centenary celebration in Bamenda military, the centenary celebration in Biya, plus the special address he did to the nation for the cause of the Anglophone crisis, plus the inauguration speeches, all the inauguration speeches. You add all the inauguration speeches because he has been there. You add the mandate, the different mandate, around 7 or 8 mandate, 8 speeches of inauguration.
That is why there is one person, excuse me, we are not counting on speeches. There is one, I don't know, is it an African leader that he made mention of that if you want to have beautiful speeches, go to Cameroon. They'll give you the speeches that you want. I have said Cameroon, I have not talked about the head of state. That's why I don't have, I made mention of it, panelists, I don't have a problem with the head of state. But my problem is matching what with action. Action now, because we are going past where we say we are still hoping again. No, we should match work with action, because the slogan when he was coming to office makes us to understand that taking this mandate was a mandate that the reality in the field will be seen by all Cameroonians. And therefore, Mr. Javis, I will now ask my question. If you ask me to rate, I will rate.
My question to you is how will you rate? My question to you now is how will you rate President Paul Biya's on a scale of 10?
On a scale of
February 2025.
Thank you so beautifully. On a scale of 10, he is my president and he is the all of Cameroon. I will rate my president 6 on 10. Ask me why.
So when you say 6 on 10, which is a very good score.
Because it's a good score, because if you look at it, 6 on 10, I come back. He has been able to achieve certain things in the country. For example, my brother here made mention of what we have seen with regards to the peace and stability in this country. It has been thanks to him that we are where we are, though the peace in the country still has some parentheses.
When you say peace, does Cameroonians have employment peace, financial peace, economic peace? Does Cameroonians have the northwest and southwest region embroidering for 9 years now? The mothers and children are crying. For the north, we can understand it's an inclusion of Boko Haram insurgency. When you move to the towns and cities, the insecurity, the towns and cities, how do you define the peace and stability?
Beautifully asked, Mr. Javis. You have talked about peace. That's why I have not said it's 100%. I use the word peace and I quoted it because we still have places that need to be what they used to be. That is why I have given a 6. I have not given a fair mark. If I could have given a fair mark, it could have been like there is a total failure on behalf of the governors in Cameroon. No, the government has done much. That is why the government has a pass mark. But the fact that we still sit and look at the reality of Cameroonians,
a part of peace,
the aspect of education, we have seen the creation of different universities. We have seen the creation of secondary schools. We have seen the creation of primary school. We know that in Cameroon, primary school education is basically free of charge. which they are all achievement of the president. So in the health sector, we have gotten new hospitals that have been constructed. For example, we saw last 2 weeks, we saw in Kumba, they receive ambulance that will be transported. This are achievement. We saw the government fought with regards to the COVID-19. Their achievement. We see that the government has never sit like that and said that when it comes to health, it will not protect its citizens. Their achievement. But what we are saying is, when it comes to certain aspects that have been highlighted by the president himself, which are very vital for the growth of the society. For example, we take about electricity. We want to say a country is going to be an emerging economy in 2035. One of the key things that the country is supposed to have is a stable energy. That is stable electricity. Without stable electricity, we cannot be emergent.
Okay.
Without stable electricity, we cannot have industries.
Let me do a follow-up briefly before moving. We did some messages of those who have been sending us messages. You used to give the head of state 6 on 10.
Yes.
And you said we have recorded remarkable achievements
in
some areas.
Health.
You stipulated that peace, social peace. You stipulated that the health sector. You stipulated that we also have had education from the level which you said the primary basic education
of the secondary
virtually free.
Presidential
grant. Now when you talk about the presidential grant, a good number of the students don't receive it from the level of the private sector. The students who do private university different from the ones who do government university, whereas the same private universities pay tuition fee to government universities, are being mentored by government universities. The second issue is Cameroonians who want to find out when you give 6/10. When you give 6/10, Cameroonians who want to find out the issue about electricity, the road network, because that's what the ordinary Cameroonian. The ordinary Cameroonian don't understand this big grammar that you are saying. If you move to the street, those are the basic.
And I come in here. That's why I have not said 5, 4, and if we say we don't have electricity in Cameroon, it's like the whole country is in dark out. No, we have places that have stable electricity in Cameroon. That's a success. The fact that he has succeeded, that there are places that the electricity is stable, it's a big success. But now what I want to look at is the percentage of those places that are stable with electricity and those places that don't even have the electricity at all. And that is where you see the remaining 3.5 is coming. So we come to realize that Mr. Javis is all about seeing that these places that don't have electricity, they should have electricity with immediate effect. Mr. Javis, let me come back to the issue of electricity. It wasn't necessary for women to come out in those places in the southwest region before having electricity. But I'm giving a 6, but there are places in Douala that have electricity 5 or 5. Well, that is where the 6 come. For example, in places like Bonanjo, they have the electricity. They have 5 or 5.
Bonaberi
becomes some sort of, I don't know. Bonaberi is almost outskirts. There are places that have electricity. They have never cried about electricity in Cameroon. That is for sure. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Let me not push further. We'll come back to you. This message reads, it's a good afternoon, sir. Happy New Year to you all. Your panelists are forgetting that in Cameroon only instructions are given. The ministers only follow instructions. For 44 years today, it is only this year the head of state want to look closely towards the youth and women far away from the reality. Bitum Victor from Mutengene. Victor, thank you very much. He says, then he says, send another one. Say, the other 2 panelists maybe what Cameroon want today is action. Okay, so the other 2 panelists may be seeking for a position in this new government. What Cameroonians want today is action, not speeches and slogans every year. This is how it is. Good afternoon, House of Commons. I'm sorry that the young guys on the studio who are not up to 40 are praising the promises of the head of state who has been in the president for 43 years counting. President Biya at 43 should be doing evolution, not promising again. This is for me. Ntam for me.
That for me.
This one right is, please kindly inform the panelists that the peace is stress-free state of security and calmness that comes when there is no fighting or war, everything coexisting in perfect harmony and freedom. This is Professor Ndo Innocent. Prof, this Prof, Happy New Year. This one is good afternoon, comrades. This is one of your viewers, Mr. Roland Akeme. Your program, House of Commons, hosted by Mr. Javis, is very interesting. Greetings to you all. Thank you, Mr. Roland Akeme from the United Kingdom. This one right is his. Greetings to the panel. I have a question for the engineer Dixon. If he has a worker he appointed to supervise a piece of contract, in the next few months you start having complaints and you are aware that it is true, will you still be keeping that person or the rest of the year for the rest of the year? This is it. Good afternoon, Mr. Javis. I am Bruce, watching from Noni. I just want to tell your panelist Emmanuel that Noni have never had electric pool nor tar road from the history of its existence. I will rate Biya 5 on 10. This one right, it is happy Sunday and happy New Year to you, Javis, and the entire House of Commons crew. Concerning, I will be coming back to the person, probably did not write the name. I think Cameroonians were fooled as usual when the head of state gives the same promise every 31st December. I feel like one was born in a very ugly. Every year we talk of roads and electricity, increased budget, which never realized but direct towards people pockets. The earlier we believe the reality, the better for us. Some few weeks back, I saw something terrible in one division, which I don't want to mention. How on earth can a caterpillar dig a road and no gravel is poured away, but black liquid is used to spray the road to look tarred? Since the government is a laissez-faire one, no one checks. Pictures are snapped and sent to the hierarchy that the road has been tarred. Is this not shame? It's not a shame. The government has failed, so we are fed up already, and no one can convince me that anything coming from this government. Since everything is above us as patriotic citizens to bring the change through the ballot box, we are waiting for God. Hyson, writing from Yaoundé.
Waiting for God. Cameroon.
Our God is already there.
I greet you all. Happy New Year to you guys also in the House of Commons. I am Elad, writing from Limbe. I want to say I think we should be serious in this country in what we say and what we confirm as what the head of state said or has been saying. Just like engineer is saying, confirming that the head of state said as if it's something Cameroonians should be dancing dancing at it, as if he has never said anything like that. The head of state has always been saying one and the same thing, and nothing is happening. Cameroonians doesn't want to hear saying and promise again, because we are tired of those saying and sayings which nothing is happening. Why is it that Cameroon rulership is centered only on saying, but no action, bro? Engineer, Cameroonians want action and not saying this and saying that. The messages are too many. We're coming back to this. You want to react to the question that somebody asked you?
I think my brother Elad is so concerned, and he's expressed a lot of emotions there. If the televiewers have been following some of my arguments on this platform, I believe they will tell that I'm somebody that we hit
very
it.
Objective.
Yeah, we hit it right where it is, and I'm very objective. But today we were looking at the appraisal of the speech of the head of state, which was the first intervention I gave We look at if the head of state demonstrated mastery of what is going on, which I said everything was inclusive. It was a holistic speech, very brief and straight to the point. The question was not geared towards whether action or no action. And I went further to also explain that we should look at the collaborators, those who are assisting the head of state in his actions to make sure that Cameroonians are comfortable. That is where I hammered that we may be having some limitations in that aspect. And I reiterated that the head of state is just a policy maker, just like the CEO of a company. You need now technicians who will come up with plans and actions for the realization of whatever policy is on board. That is where I went to. I am not saying that Cameroonians are comfortable. I haven't said that. We are living the reality of the country. We know certain areas of the country, schools are not functioning. We know certain areas of the country don't still have schools. Sometimes we said it here, some areas in the far north, they still don't have buildings where they can study. We are all aware that some areas, hospitals don't have supplies. But I think my colleague here said some areas are stable while others are not. Meaning we can't say nothing is happening. We should get that clear. For action, if we don't get the right people in the right place, we will not see action, my dear brother Elat. Let me say it now clear to you. Maybe that's what you want to hear me say. If we don't have the right people in the right places, we will not see action. What am I trying to say? Even if we remove the head of state, President Paul Biya, today, and bring in the best of brain in Cameroon and put there, and the Cameroonians themselves, I mean us, we have not accepted this country as ours. We have not accepted to treat our fellow Cameroonians as our brothers. We have not accepted that reality that we don't have any other country but this country. Nothing will change. I don't know if I've cleared your concerns. We have a lot of problems that I think this the time given to us, we can't dissect everything, but hopefully we are going to be dissecting it gradually. Once again, Happy New Year.
Now, the another question was, if you have an employee that has you assigned to supervise a contract, and that employee has been failing, and you have been receiving complaints, concrete complaints, and you see that it's true, will you keep the employee to run to the end of the year?
Okay, first, I don't need complaints. If we have to manage situations as a manager, I don't need people to complain to me. If I give a task, I have what I call performance indicators. If I give a task to do, I have my performance indicator. I don't need anybody to come and complain about it to me. I have output.
So if the person does not perform,
so if my performance indicators that I'm expecting from you, and I tell these are the things I want you to do, and I see you're not doing it, why? What are you doing that?
So which means, so you are not confirming to this person that we should not blame the minister, we should blame the head of state, because he ought to have had those performance indicators to see whether these ministers were working for 40 years, because there are some that have been there for 21 years in their respective ministry. In fact, like he said, there are others that have just been rationing. You remove from this ministry, you send to this ministry, and they have been there for more than 30 years.
No country runs without performance indicator. I'm sorry to say this. In the most performant countries in the world, they have performance
because
indicators.
His question was based on the fact that you said we should not blame the head of state but the minister. That's why he asked this question. His question is not whether or not the ministers are not working. His question is the issue about the head of state, you assume his responsibility.
Mr. Javis, I'm not ignorant of the fact that Cameroonians are not civilized. I'm not ignorant of that fact. It happened. Go to councils and see how they keep you outside for long for a simple procedure. Go to those offices and see how long it takes you just to sign a document.
That is what we are saying.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So what the point I'm making here is, we can hammer the head of state from now till tomorrow, and you discover that whether we keep changing people, we may even have a worse and worse result, because the mindset of Cameroonians is very poor. Go to our schools, go to the park where we bought cars to go to our various destinations. See how Cameroonians treat Cameroonians. It tells you that there is a mindset problem. You don't need a magician. If we don't become conscientious about this, if our consciences don't elevate in this country, nothing can happen. I don't know the miracle it's going to take for us to free our minds and accept this country. From our men in the uniform, the police people, they take a lot of money on the roadsides, and this money never enters the state treasury. Nobody does anything about it. From those who are giving out contracts, before if they say contract 100 million, minister says and take 5 billion. These things are not hidden. It's open. They call it lobbying. You have to give a percentage of your own money. So now, Mr. Javis, I'm coming. I'm saying that if the mindset of Cameroonians don't change, we will be hitting the wrong point, saying the head of state. We can have a new head of state, change the whole of this cabinet, and bring in a new cabinet. We may find ourselves in a worse position. Likewise, we may find ourselves in a better position. The mindset of Cameroonians need to be elevated. Yes, it's part of the government responsibility as well to elevate the mindset of the citizens. So there should be strong educational programs to educate Cameroonians, because believe me, Cameroonians are not civilized, and they have not accepted this country. They still believe that 500 billion in the bank account make you very rich. It doesn't make you rich. 50 billion in your bank account make you rich. It doesn't make you rich. You are just a man working with money in the bank account. You are just a man who have money that can solve your basic problems. But people who are rich and wealthy are people who create opportunities for others. So why do I remove 500 million to go and buy a car, when that 500 million can set up a small factory somewhere and recruit people, give them a livelihood, and they become wealthy? That's the point I'm making. If you see the way Cameroonians adore money, worship money, it tells you this country may never develop.
Let's move to the second topic. The second topic of this is the issue of garbage. Everybody, we have rated the head of state, and I have my own ratings. If you want to know about my own ratings, you get that on other programs, because you know my own ratings.
What about us who are here?
My own ratings.
Yes, we need to hear.
My rating is far below your ratings.
Put it.
Let's move to the second topic.
Yeah, that's why he's
My
running.
reasons, Cameroonians don't have electricity. I'm talking about the day-to-day life of
On
Cameroonians.
10.
I'll give 2 on 10, because
You have-
the issue is, if you move across the street, let's not be ignorant about the facts and reality. All of us here know the death we passed before we came here. All of us here know that electricity has been epileptic. In fact, my elementary division has not been with electricity for over 9 years. 9 years. A division that worked so hard for the head of state to be elected in 2018, 2025 has been for 9 years without electricity. He has to take the people of Munya for 2 years to move to the street to have electricity. You have to take the people of my 16. You move, look at the economy. The private sector has been abandoned to the shadow of employees. Twice the salary of government workers have been increased, and the Prime Minister said they were going to work with CEOs and business moguls to see how they can give them a tax holiday, or to discuss how they can encourage them to increase taxes of the private sector workers, salaries of private workers. That has not been done for 2 years or 2 times. So the question is, those working in the private sector, are they not properties of the government? Realities are glaring. Our taps are not flowing. Our roads are, in fact, they are tiring road now with sand and cement in Biya. When you are going towards Biya, sand and cement. When I have talked about it, people have not there. Nothing has been done. Not even concrete, sand and cement mixing. Put water on the road and arranged it. When you go from the toll gate right to Biya, you see there's clear. The truth is, issues are reality. Cameroonians live the reality. The bourgeoisies live the bourgeoisie life. The reality is the reality. And I'm talking as an ordinary Cameroonian who feel the pain on a day-to-day basis, where you see that the taxes are exorbitant, and you see employees are struggling to see that they can pay these taxes and at the same time pay their workers. The educational sector itself is limping. You talk about education. Let us look at education. Our universities, how equipped are they? How focused is our educational tailoring towards creating people, empowering them rather than giving them knowledge? We have the knowledge, not skills. How skills operational? You talk about free educational issue at the primary school. Let us look at the GDP. Also, let us look at the standard of living. If the standard of living is high and the cost of living is low, why would people not be able to pay school fees? The money is not there, and you're expecting them to even pay the fee that the money is not there. So in all fairness, if I keep going, I'll go and go and go and go. I am not ignorant of the fact that the people watching us, from the messages I receive, if they were to write the head of state speech, it will not be that speech that the head of state will have read. Let's move to the second topic. The second topic we are looking at about the garbage.
Yes.
is still the problem of garbage, as we see our towns are well littered with dirt. It's rather unfortunate that we have 4 ministries: the Ministry of Town Planning and Urban Development, we have the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Public Health, the Ministry of Environment, and we have the Ministry of Territorial Administrations, with other institutions like Ezakam and so on, even the Ministry of Decentralization. But we have come 2025, it has demonstrated the incompetence with the leaders of our community. We ask ourselves, the waste management sector in Cameroon is well legislated. Everything is put in place, but why do we still have garbage everywhere in our cities? To the extent that it is the Minister of Territorial Administration
that have to even go an extra mile,
writing an ultimatum to all the stakeholders to clear the town. It goes back to what the head of state said. He mentioned about competencies that this time around, I will still say it, his speech is already a problem-solving speech. It's a problem-solving speech. He mentioned that and said it that this time around, competencies shall be favored over any other thing. Any other person who has anything, if you are not competent, you are not going to, and that is what we are expecting to see, because the town, in fact, living from just beside, I don't know, everywhere, you go to like Gabisenge, for example, where I'm coming from, the one part of the road that is entering the GA has been blocked by garbage. It is for getting to 3 weeks. The process has been blocked. Now, users, pedestrians have to be fighting for the road with taxi drivers and bike riders because of the dirty nature of the town. The question we keep on asking ourselves: what is the role of our community or municipal leaders? One of the causes, we went down to find out what actually is the cause. Some said there is a fragmented responsibility. Everything has been given to one thing, has been given to many people to do it, and at the same time nobody is doing anything. The next point we got from the society, from downtown, is that there is chronic underfunding, which means those councils that have the various municipal councils.
Coming back to you. Let's take on this advert. Very brief. We'll be coming back to you. We have an advert at 1:30.
Okay.
I am Express Exchange, leader of money transfers within Cameroon for more than 15 years via my international partners MoneyGram, Western Union, Riyadh Transfer, World Remit, and others. You can send and receive money all over the world. I assist you in all your mobile money transactions and buying of communication credit. You are always welcome to my 300 branches for payment of your ENEO, electricity bills, and your university tuition fees, the payment of school fees and competitive examination fees for high schools and college via the Campus Money platform. Because your satisfaction is my priority, I assure you on ever-increasing and improved quality service, payments, availability of cash for your transactions. Express Exchange, the #1 in quality service in Cameroon.
You're welcome back from that, but briefly, Lan, so that I move to.
We are trying to enumerate some of the causes of why we have the state of our towns very little. We talked about from what we've gotten, because we actually went out finding out what is really the cause. They said the fundings, the various municipalities are not being well funded. And then there's another point, that the weak decentralization that is experienced in that Cameroon is We know suddenly the Cameroon is a decentralized state, but that the decentralization is because the powers given to the various authorities has not been actually given, which means that what has been given is not up to what is supposed to be given. Then another one, the political priorities. The government, from all indication, does not prioritize the cleanliness of our towns. Those are the problems raised. And then the issue of no accountability. Now we want to ask the central government, those people, the Ministry of the Minister of Urban Planning, the Minister of Territorial Administration, the Minister of Public Health. What is the problem? Why are we having the street of Cameroon dirty with everything being put in place by the head of state? There is a problem. The head of state, everything has been put in order for you people to actually accomplish it. Make sure that things are put in place. You go to a Zakam, the workers are not paid for months. You go to a Zakam, they don't have working materials, and that's why we saw the Minister of Territorial Administration who donated trucks to the City Council some weeks ago to clear the town. And we are asking, what are you people doing? And that is why I will not talk for long, but I'm going to say this, please. We Cameroonians, we are tired of seeing our street dirty, and we are tired because we are part of the problem. We do not handle our waste management properly. We, like engineers said, the mindset of Cameroonians is a typical mindset of people who do not want progress. The city council or the council will create a place for waste dumpage. The next day you will see, just as places are getting dark, people will come with everything from their households and throw beside the road, neglecting those people. You go and see a dustbin. They don't throw the dust. They don't throw the waste in the bin, but they throw it on the floor, and that is what contributes to what we are having. I'm talking about some places. I actually understand some places where there have been. So now,
but even if there have been, how many can contain
how many bins are there? Now we equally want to encourage. We equally want to encourage suggesting, by the way, to the government in place. Please let a process. Let there be a project to recycle the waste management being collected.
That you are coming back to the issue of governance issue.
And that's why
but you just rated your president.
I rated my president, and my president. We have rated our president, right? I have rated the president 8 on 10, and
the champion.
It is our champion.
Your champion of Cameroon. Your champion.
My champion.
Yes.
The champion of Cameroon.
Your champion.
Yes. Excuse me. And that's why we're saying that and that's why we are telling the president of the republic that the people he has kept in place are not actually carrying out his policies, because the president has actually enumerated the policies for everything to go on very well, and that's why we are calling on him to look at those people who are his collaborators. Some of them are not to be there.
Please, those of you trying to call us, don't call us. We just received today. We are receiving just SMSs and WhatsApp messages. Masu from Biya. Masu, happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Masu, watching us. He says, good afternoon, Mr. Javis. The last speaker raised a point that I always bleed when I think about it. I was the national coordinator, Women Affairs of Aya Foundation, on our several trips to Nigeria to feed our suffering brothers due to the outskirts which the camps were overloaded, our vehicles above capacity. When we arrive at police and army checkpoints, they don't collect bribe. They caution us not to do so again. They ask the driver to do a good jump. Okay, good jump to distance and to a distance to and fro a portion before we move on. That's he's talking about overloading. The driver was asked to do a good jump. Now here in Cameroon, that can that happen? When we reach other checkpoints, police will tell us that they are also IFPS from other states, that is internally displaced persons from other states. We should at least give them mineral water. I bet you, when you give the mineral water, when you give them 200 naira, they buy water there and they give us 100 naira back. Nigeria is not so good, yes, but they do not wash dirty linen in public. Masu writing. Masu, then what means that? Exactly. Are you saying that the other people are washing their own in public? Yeah, the president never mentioned tourism. Cameroon is having a lot of potential in the tourism sector.
See,
this all right. It says.
That is.
It says.
He has.
It shows Cameroonians are connected. It means Cameroonians are following the activities of their nation. This all is Happy New Year to you all, Javis. Biya government has failed in terms of electricity and route to our country since 1960. Today we cannot be still be talking about light, road, and water. He has announced cabinet reshuffle. He should concentrate on the Ministry of Public Works, Ministry of Energy, and the Water, Ministry of Youth Affairs, and the Ministry of Women Empowerment. Completely change those leaders. I am Mefiri writing from Kumba. Mefiri writing from Kumba. This other one says, happy Sunday to you guys in the studio. I think that you guys are fighting for appointment. Okay. Message. Engineer Dixon. I don't know. Okay, come on, Engineer Dixon. What should we move from? Where should we move from here? This issue about waste. The president has spoken about an issue. Now the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganyi, took a decision that they should administrative officials to ensure that waste are not dumped on the road again. But the issue is, where should they be dumped? Do we have a strategy?
Mr. Javis, is a good thing that the Minister of Territorial Administration has concern for the sector and the irregularities that are occurring, which is inhumane. Inhumane because this manner of dumping waste by the streets has a lot of environmental, public health, and economic impact. And last Sunday, I think I gave details on these three impacts, but for those who didn't follow the program last week, maybe I reiterate. First, in the economy, the way we are dumping waste, there are a lot of recoverable materials in the waste that can be recycled and reprocessed. So if we are dumping all of that, it means we are losing money. That's the first point in the economy. And secondly, the way the waste is being dumped by the roadside, it reduces tourism. It impacts the tourism sector. Nobody would love to visit a country and spend a lot of money in that country, a lot of waste. It's like they're exposing themselves to diseases. Talking about the health impact, I made mention of the proliferation of flies and other insect vectors that will consider that a breeding ground, including mosquitoes. So we shouldn't be surprised if we have an outbreak of some diseases like malaria, rampant malaria, cholera, and the rest that are food and waterborne oriented. And talking of the environment, we made mention of greenhouse gas emissions, that these waste, they emit a lot of unwanted gases, and also the shade that is being infiltrated in the ground not just destroy the bitumen, but as well can pollute the soil and underground water. Why not nearby water in an event of rainfall to runoff? And this waste as well by the roadside can cause traffic. In short, it's causing traffic in some areas. Talking about the decision now of the minister, I would like to let the minister understand that this is not a problem a signature and a pen can solve. I made mention of the fact that this is a crisis. The way waste is now, this is a real crisis, and it should be treated as a crisis. This is an environmental crisis, and I believe not just coming up with decrees and all of that, it won't solve the problem. But if all the stakeholders are visited, if all the stakeholders are invited, the waste management company, the councils, the GOs, and everybody, the quarter heads, they come together, have a crisis meeting, I believe they will have, each town will have a way forward on how the waste sector will be managed, and from such a meeting, the ministers and ministries concerned will receive proposals which I believe will guide any decision that is being taken. If I should give my advice and way forward as somebody of the domain, as an environmental engineer, I want to start by citing what the law says. If we revisit law number 96/12 of August 5th, 1996, relating to environmental management in Cameroon, this law mandates that municipal solid waste management in Cameroon must prioritize environmental protection, public health, and sustainable development. It assigns responsibility to local authorities, underlying local authorities. It assigns responsibilities to local authorities and requires proper collection, treatment, and disposal. If we are going to implement this law, we're not going into detail, we're not in a law class, but I want to bring out something that aligns with the law. If we are going to respect this law, then I would recommend waste collection go back to the councils.
Okay.
And Izakam should upgrade and focus on processing and treatment. And we reduce all the open dumping we are doing in the name. That's not landfill. What we are doing is open dumping. It is very dangerous. I don't want to go into the detailed impact of open dumping here. I would say those who drafted this law knew exactly what they were doing. We should revisit this law. Let the authorities go back, the authority of waste collection. I don't see what is too difficult in collecting waste. Let waste collection go back
to the councils.
And let Izakam, we are not kicking out Izakam, let Izakam focus on valorization and bringing added value to waste, meaning waste processing, waste treatment, processing, recycling, reduction, and whatever processing they want to give to the waste. Let them stay in that sector. I believe they will generate more money there. Let the councils take charge of the waste, and they should take charge of the waste responsibly, respecting sorting at source. Sorting is what we call in French triage. They should sort the waste at source, meaning all containers should be classified: degradable, non-degradable, and biodegradable, bio and non-bio. So all these are the containers want to be seen by the streets now, and it should be the responsibility of the councils, not the Zakam. When the councils do that, they should educate the population on their activity. Never work without those who are generating the waste. You need to educate them. When you educate them, they will know exactly how to collect the waste in their homes first, before bringing it now to the site of dumping for collection and transportation. Once they are collected well, those that can be valorized will be sent to Izakam, and Izakam will do whatever processes they want to do with it, bring added value, and come up with new products maybe, and resell them to us. If that is not being done, then believe me, I don't think that the way we are managing waste now is the best, and it may not go a long way to solve any problem. Rather, it will create more problems in the long term. Thank you.
So, yeah, on point of this.
Yeah, Mr. Javis, you see, when it comes to this issue of waste management, engineer has said it very well, but I want to see the local government has failed.
Because if you look at the local government, is totally their responsibility to see that their local area are well, in short, the sanitation of their local area are taken care of. When we go out there, we will see municipal police everywhere. They are running behind cars that don't have documents. Why is it that they cannot pay the same attention on this waste management? You see them moving up and down, they impound cars, they take them right up to their stations. But when it comes to management of waste, Mr. Javis, when we were small, we knew of sanitary workers.
Yes.
That they will pass around and check even right to your toilet.
They will check their toilet.
They check everything. But this was the local government that we had in Cameroon.
Because the question now is, was Izakam not supposed to instead come to make
it easier?
How do you expect that before the coming of Izakam, maybe places
back
to the council?
The council is supposed to do its job. I'm not saying taking back the council. When you go to the local governors, Mr. Javis, it has all these sectors that we are talking about. Educational sector, it has health sector, everything is in the local government sector. And therefore meaning that if your area is not clean, you should be held responsible. You have failed. So I feel that I am talking on action. They should be put to work. They should say local governance, if this your area we see that it has a lot of waste, if there is a possibility of firing you, they should be fired even. Because this is uncalled for. I come back now to what Engineer Dixon has said here, Cameroonians mindset. I don't understand when you see the highway like that and then you come and dump waste there. First of all, you are putting the highway on risks because you have narrowed that route. And therefore it can lead to road accident. And not only that, the environmental hazard that he has enumerated here, they are much. When these flies, they come and land, you go to a place like Rai, where you go, you see where women are selling food. This is a very place where people come and dump their waste. I ask myself, this is where you come tomorrow to come and buy how do they call it, katanga. It is where you come tomorrow to come and buy your food. If you go there, you see those things that they sell around where they are dumping those garbages, they are eatable things. And more to that, things that are very fragile to the health, like fruits.
And besides that, some areas where you have to move for about 3 minutes, going to your house and inhaling.
And so
you move to one junction again, start inhaling.
Mr. Javis, is a call for concern. Let the local authorities be called to order. And then individuals as we are, please, the mindset should change. When my brother say here that where are they going to dump the garbages, I begin to
why are they dumping before?
Oh God, Mr. James, don't take things out of me now. Why were they dumping before? If the government, the local government can actually come and say this place is not supposed to be inhabited by people and they are sent away from that place, don't they still have the power that they can create where this waste can be dumped there? And when I even see at times, Mr. Javis, I would not also want to blame them so much, the local people, is where these company people come and keep their containers to collect waste. I think it is very important that they keep them in strategic positions that are not situations that are not harmful to the society. You don't come and this is the road leading to, this is the highway. They come and place your container just beside the highway. What do you expect? But you play the ganga. The container is not even 1 meter. Am I saying when this is the highway, this is the container? And people come and put their waste, they put their waste, it is full, they come and dump again. What do you expect?
And they start littering.
And they start littering even right up to the highway. So they should look for strategic places within the quarter that they can come and place their containers that will be accessible to the people and we would not disturb the health of the people. I think it is a call for concern, and like we said, my brother has said, the containers should be in such a way that they carry different waste, not that everything is just jumbled up in one container. Like if you are talking about recycling waste, how can we recycle? If you come, the waste, everything is on one container, it becomes difficult. But in some countries, like there was a reporter that said during this Nations Cup, that if you go to Morocco, it is spare out. Things that can actually degrade very soon, they are placed in another container. Things like plastic things, they are placed in another container. And things that they are like still in nature, they are placed in another container. I think these are things that we are supposed to copy in Cameroon. The company that is in charge of this waste management should bring such things. And when you come to place the containers there, and people should be assigned. People should be assigned to cater for that. Because if people are not assigned, Cameroonians with the mindset that my brother have said, some will still come and will not know what to do. But gradually, if you educate the masses that when you come, if you have, maybe even in your house, when you You have waste in the house. Make sure that those that can actually decay very, very fast, you put them in a certain waste basket. Those that are iron in nature, you put them in another basket, and things like that. You educate them, and then their workers should be placed in the field to also educate Cameroonians where they should actually throw their waste. I think it will go a long way to help. So I'm saying that with this issue of garbage, the problem the local government has faced, and if I was in the place, he has done a very good job. The Minister of Territorial Administration, I used to tell people, maybe I will say, people will say that maybe we are looking for a position in the government, but one thing I love with that minister is that he matches his words with action, and that is what I love. When he says this is it, he will tell you that this is what is going to take place. And I think that is what the local government should do now. They should match their word with action. When we talk about Exakam, I've just quoted here Mr. Javis, that when we were small, we had no Exakam. They talk of Limbe to be the cleanest city in the southwest region. True of us, we were very no Exakam. How was the local government managing its waste? I quite remember that we used to have in those days tractors. Tractors will come and then they will carry the waste, and then they look for a place that is far away from town. That is where they go, they dump it there and they burn. That's how it was being managed. So I'm still saying that the local government can still, it has the power that within a place like Bonaberi, do you want to tell me that everywhere in Bonaberi is constructed?
Okay.
No, it's not constructed. There are places that the local government can still use that. It applies to the government and say, this particular area, I want to use it for my waste management. They will be given.
Okay.
So I feel the biggest problem is not even the state here, it's not even the ministry or the ministry that my brother has quoted here. The problem is the local government.
Okay,
they should go to work.
Greetings to you and panelists in the studio. Cheng Nelson writing from Limbe. Before the coming of Exakam, waste was managed by the councils and our towns were very clean. Let the government give it back to the councils. We are blaming the councils or local authorities why they pay heavy sum to the Exakam. Why? If I have to rate the president, I will give him 0.05 on 10. We are almost out of time, but your last word before we go.
Thank you very much, Mr. Javis. I have said when we come on air is for us to see that our country develop. We are here to build and not to destroy. We are not saying that Cameroon is totally in the blackout, but we are saying that there are some I's that need to be dotted and there are some things that need to be kept. So I want to say wonderful afternoon to my brothers that are somewhere in Limbe, particularly now, friends of all. Happy New Year in arrears. Thank you.
Yeah, last one before we go.
Thank you. I would like to extend a special greetings to the fun of Mbin who is in Bamenda watching live. And again, to all Cameroonians who are going to be preparing, please, we should take into consideration that the electoral register has already been opened. If you have not registered for elections, if your name is not there, please, it is now between now and February. Go and register so that by the time the electoral college is being called for the elections of municipal leaders and parliamentarians, you shall have the opportunity to express your will, your wish, and your command. Again, I would like to say something, please. The head of state said it that traditional authorities should engage their various populations for peace to reign.
We're almost out of time.
Yes, they should engage, and it's my call. Traditional authorities, please talk to your community persons, talk to your people.
The ones in North and Southwest?
Particularly the ones in Northwest, Southwest, and the far north, it was mentioned. But I am engaging all of the traditional authorities, especially the ones of the Northwest and Southwest. Please engage in community dialogue.
But they spoke with their people now during the election, and that's why they were able to have that good score.
We have gone past that stage.
No, but it's part of the talking.
Okay, now, which means dialogue is a...
They have been talking with the people.
Dialogue is a process, and the head of state have reiterated that the dialogue should continue. The dialogue should continue. No, thank you.
Engineer.
Yes, my last word is that municipal elections are coming. I will want to advise that when setting up lists for municipal councillors, parties should take into consideration councillors from different quarters. Councillors should not come from a particular quarter in a community. At least each quarter should have a councillor for proper surveillance, especially with respect to the way people are managing their domestic waste and other issues that will be happening within the community. And please, as Mr. Emmanuel said, go and register to vote for your council representatives. Don't wait until when things go bad. And Cameroonians, let's come out today in our numbers to support the Lions. I believe they are going to make us proud and will bring joy to us. Happy New Year once more, and thanks for having me, Mr. Javis. It's been a pleasure.
The pronostic?
I think we are going to trash South Africa 2-1.
I go the same score with you.
Mine 2-0.
In favor of
Cameroon.
So you have 2-0.
2-1 in favor of Cameroon.
I have 2-1.
Yeah.
Cameroon is beating South Africa 2-1.
So the two of you 2-1.
Yes.
So next week Sunday we'll meet back.
Of course.
I'm for 2-0. I'm very confident that we are going we are
2-0.
not only going to beat them, we are going to trash them. So 2-0 in favor of Cameroon. That is my score.
What makes you think we are going to try?
Because we have a team that Mr. Javis is something that is. We have a very nice team because it is a team that is a young team, and the performances that they have shown us, it's just a team that is not up to a month old.
Yeah.
It means they can go places because many Cameroonians have different opinion. Why is it that some players were left out? But please, when your time is over, please let's give other people a chance.
My pronostic goes for Cameroon 3, South Africa 1, and I believe that Cameroon will go far. Sunday is not far. We hope we keep the momentum going. Thank you, engineer, for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure for us to take this rostrum and educate the common man. Thank you.
Greetings to your family to have led you all this year 2025 to 2026 to come and talk to Cameroonian. We appreciate them.
Especially my woman
your
is doing a
beloved
great job.
wife.
My beloved wife is doing a great job.
Okay. And I want to also thank you, Mr. Emmanuel, for coming. It's not been easy. We want to thank your family for allowing you to come through this 2025 right up to this time.
Thank you, Mr. Javis. And it's a wonderful pleasure having to start another year again.
And of course, Mr. Ezia, it's not been easy. We know that you just buried your father. Our condolences to you. It's not been easy, and we know we are still to visit you.
Thank you, my boy.
Brother, it has not been easy. You see from the outfit, it shows that I'm still. It's just some few weeks that we had that finally to rest of my dad. So I want to say courage to the Azias family, both home and abroad. It has not been easy, but God. I'm also using this time also to wish you a wonderful, prosperous new year that will actually be a year of success in everyone in the Azias family, both home and abroad. Thank you so very much for giving me this opportunity, Mr. Javis.
I want to wish you, Anna and Dorothy, a very big Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all our viewers who have been following up. Happy New Year to you, Mr. Nyam, Robert, and your wife, Joan. Happy New Year to your entire family, Maya, Kelia, Senior. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you, Agwo Charles in Canada. All those of you who have been taking your time to view us, those who have been sending your messages, I want to thank you for all the course of 2025. And this is January 2026. As we move the train of House of Commons, we want to thank all those of you who have been contributing, who have been doing their best to make sure that the program actually move history. Also, we want to also tell you, Desmond, who died, our producer, that continue to rest in peace. We acknowledge the contribution you did within the course of the year 2025, and the fact that God had to take you in the course of 2025. We extend our heartfelt condolence again to your family. We know it's not easy, and to the child you left behind, and now we pray that God continues to grant you eternal rest and let perpetual light shine upon you. You will still be with us in our midst as part of this program which you started. I want to wish Happy New Year to the management of our team, BT Media, the boss of our institution, the wife. We want to wish you guys a very big happy new year. Thank you guys for the opportunity, and thank you for the great job you are doing to give us the opportunity to talk to Cameroonians. And we pray God continue to guide and reward you. Until we meet again, stay out of trouble no matter the matter. What matters is your matter. What should matter for all of you is that go and register for municipal elections around the corner. My name is Tah Mai Javis, Cameroon's commercial capital. Fengu Jombange. Bye-bye.
I am Express Exchange, leader in money transfers within Cameroon for more than 15 years via my international partners MoneyGram, Western Union, Riyadh Transfer, World Remits, and others. You can send and receive money all over the world. I assist you in all your mobile money transactions and buying of communication credit. You are always welcome to my 300 branches for payment of your Eneo, electricity bills, and your university tuition fees, the payment of school fees, and competitive examination fees for high schools and college via the Campus Money platform. Because your satisfaction is my priority, I assure you an ever-increasing and improved quality service, payments, availability of cash for your transactions. Express Exchange, the #1 in quality service in Cameroon.